Hey traders from around the world, what's going on? It's me, Jeremy Alexander Newsome with reallifetrading.com. Hope you're doing great. The market's about to close here in just a few seconds on Monday, the 26th of September. Got some interesting stuff to talk about and look at. Of course, we got the SPY. So mentioned on this day when we gapped up, which was, hop back over here, Thursday. So on Thursday, we talked about the strong likelihood that we would be retesting, because this giant gap up was indeed a retest gap. So if I kind of zoom in here a little bit, white candle, let me turn off the moving averages. White candle gapping up today. Right here, white candle gapping up, definitely a retest gap. So my thought was, okay, we're likely going to pull back, we're likely going to retest, and so far that's exactly what is happening. So as of today, when we did gap down, we did retest this level. My thought was, all right, well, let's see if we can get into some calls, and let's see if we bounce. Right? The election is tonight. Not sure what's going to happen out there in the markets. I'm expecting a little bit of a gap up, maybe, and then trade higher, or possibly gap down and then trade up. But a little bit of a gap probably tomorrow morning in some direction. My thought is on the SPY, you got higher lows right here. So here's your higher lows. So if we trade up here, trade back down, and bounce, great. This definitely a possibility. This, of course, also a possibility. And this, of course, is a possibility. We could still go lower. Not denying that. I kind of want to, so that we know from a wave count and a wave perspective. I would love for this to be an A, B, C wave where we trade down into the 210, 211 area and then bounce. That would make a lot more sense on a wave structure for me personally, just out there in the markets. But we'll see kind of what happens overall. So SPY. Here's my analysis from today. Nice follow through gap, nice bearish retest gap today. So black candle gapping down. That's why I could see us trading up a little bit higher tomorrow or the next day. If the SPY takes out the pre-market high, I'll be very cautious on any bearish trades. Well, it did not do that. It did not take out the pre-market high. Definitely have this note. We shouldn't go lower than Wednesday's low. Wednesday's low being 213.44. So if we take out that low, that's going to be something interesting. That's why I have a stop at about 212.89. So if we take out that low, I'll be considering some different perspectives out there. Because again, if that happens, I'm probably expecting that. I don't really think that we do this. I'll be keeping an eye out for that, but I'm just not expecting it. If we take out, Wednesday's low. So anyway, that's the SPY. Here's the Qs. Qs today were a little bit of a gap down. So again, on the Qs, Wednesday's low right here, breakout. This is your breakout resistance, and here's your retest gap. White candle gapping up. This is the retest. So if you waited for the limit buy, you got a good fill this morning. So again, I am keeping an eye out for some bullish activity, hopefully in the after hours. Expecting a little bit of a gap up, maybe not, I don't know. But if it happens, I think it'd be really, really strong, and I will be bullish if that occurs. Let's go ahead and look at a few swing trades that a few traders have out there. Here's PRGO, and this is one that we've been keeping our eyes on. And PRGO, this is a trade based on this really, really strong bullish gap and go right there. Gorgeous little pennant pattern. And we closed at a resistance, above a resistance of $96.10. So at that particular point in time, we got a little bit of an upper shadow. And Friday, I drew this little pink line saying if you're looking at playing PRGO, here's what I would like to see. A little bit of a pullback and then a buying the dip opportunity. So on PRGO, if you are getting in today on this retest, makes total sense. If you're looking for a little bit farther of a pullback and then a buying opportunity, also makes sense. But PRGO, feel free to keep an eye out for a bullish perspective. It did close above the 100 simple moving average. That does appear as an accumulation phase down here and potentially could be breaking out on PRGO. Just something to watch. Here's Apple. Everybody always likes to talk about Apple. Big deal on Apple today, ladies and gentlemen. The lows of these two candles are exactly the same. 111.55 on Apple. So I will be watching Apple realistically tomorrow and the next day for the high of this to break. So if we break above this high on Apple, boop, right there, I will be getting into some bullish swing trades on AAPL. Overall, I really like exponential moving averages on the daily chart. Here they are, right? We got a tweezer bottom. As of a few days ago, in the January 120 calls for $3.20. I planned on getting them as a limit at $3.20. I actually got in at $2.75 the other day on these pullbacks. So that is in. So again, that's the January 120 calls. Plan on holding those a minimum until the end of November, right? I probably won't even worry about them until then, and after that, I'll kind of see what happens. But as of today, definitely planning to see if we can break out of here. Of course, we do not have to, we might not, but this is a tweezer bottom pattern, a very interesting support level, and if this 20 can prop it up at all, this is the area that it should, because here's your flag, and if we start making higher high, higher low on Apple, I'd like to start seeing some more bullish follow through. Here's Mosaic, ticker symbol MOS. This one was requested by another trader, and it's coming down into a little bit of a support level. And today closed down 2.74%, which is really interesting because it absolutely without question isn't a channel. And the trader was like, okay, I'll see if it bounces from here. Well, doesn't appear like it's going to bounce. You got a really pretty solid close on Friday and today below these supports. So my thought would be, if waiting for a bounce on Mosaic, ticker symbol MOS, it might be better to kind of wait for it to trade down into this support down here at approximately 22. That'd probably be the next location we're looking to buy low, sell high. So expect a little bit of a retest on Mosaic and then potentially a trade down to 22 on ticker symbol MOS. DB today got beat up again. There's a news story that the German government's not going to be bailing out Deutsche Bank after their $14 billion settlement value that they might have to be paying out here, which is a pretty solid number. It's a lot of money, $14 billion. A lot of volume today, big lower shadow. It's a record low on Deutsche Bank, making lower lows and lower highs with increased volume. Ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't appear that there's any bottom right now on DB. And I did have a good buddy of mine, Tim, who worked a long time in banking, telling me about Deutsche and how he does not like them as a company and the fundamentals. So anyway, DB, watching this thing transpire and kind of watching it spiral lower. Here's Smith & Wesson, ticker symbol SWHC. And Smith & Wesson today had a really, really strong gap. Stan's got a $25 put sale. We kept an eye on this and played it for a very, very small loss on a bearish day trade. You got the 200 simple at 25.07, which we have bounced off before and we could easily do again. But this gap occurring on a Monday, breaking that support right there, very strong gap on SWHC. Here's your weekly chart. And if I had to guess, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but if I was playing this particular stock, I would look for it to trade down into here and then look to buy that dip on SWHC. Solar City, ticker symbol SCTY, is moving for us, at least so far. Melanie and a few other traders are in bullish on this one. This is the one we've been talking about for a few weeks now. We waited for it, trade into that support, bounce off that support. So right now it's moving higher on Solar City, which is good. United States Steel also looking nice. A lot of traders getting in bullish around here on United States Steel. And so far, so good on US Steel. Twitter today, beautiful candle, nice retest. You probably won't believe me, but I'll go ahead and say it anyway. On Friday, we mentioned, hey guys, here's what we're going to do. Let's let it pull back on the hourly chart. So on the hourly time frame, we pulled it up on Tuesday, and we said, okay, here's the deal. Let it do this, trade down to here, and then look to buy that dip on Twitter. Because here's your 10 exponential moving average right there. There's the hourly chart. There's your pennant pattern, and there's the bullish pop on TWTR. It is a retest gap, and this was the retest today, right? A little bit of a pullback and a good opportunity to get in relatively decent rather than getting in on the high of the close of Friday. Being able to get in on that retest, saving you about $1 on that entry helps your risk reward phenomenally. So Twitter making a higher high and a higher low on Friday in the afternoon swing trading room. Mentioned is unequivocally bullish. Great gap, great volume, great location. Everything about it looks pretty good. So excited to see how that plays out. That's Twitter. Anyway, a lot of stuff happening tonight. The big debate. A lot of people tuning in from all over the world. Got a little bit of a link here. If you get a chance to check this out, I'll include it in the description box in the email below. Figured that you guys can kind of read over this. Rob sent it to me because he was asking me today what I think about what's going to happen in certain sectors and if and then and who and when and why. And I really don't know specifically how it's going to perform or what's going to happen after the debate. But this is a really good article from the Market Watch to kind of read. And again, I'll include that in the description box below in the YouTube video. And here's another one. I'll include this link also for those of you who have stock twits. But it's the S&P performance by president over the last 133 years, I believe. And yeah, it really, well, kind of interesting. So that's kind of what we got. I think it says 29 years. I said 133 years. I don't know where I got that number from. I'm not really sure. But anyway, over 29 years. That's kind of the what we got. Interesting, I guess, is the best way to put that. Not really entirely sure. But those are the two things I got. How is this presidential election going to impact the markets? How is tonight's debate going to impact the markets? Ladies and gentlemen, I do not know. It is a big question mark for sure. So all I can say is be thin, be nimble, have really good risk mitigation. If you're unsure, stay out. And if the trade sets up, if you follow your plan, make sure to take it, right? Because just because you're afraid to take the trade, just because you might lose some money, the objective in trading is to, number one, create a trading plan. Number two, follow that trading plan. And number three, inside that trading plan, have good risk mitigation principles. So even if you do lose, you lose small and nimbly and graciously, because that's okay if you lose, as long as you lose small and you got your account staying around for the next big trade that comes your way. When's that going to come? Probably earnings. A month away. Big deal. I'm excited about this. October, November are going to be huge months, ladies and gentlemen. And specifically Thursday, this Thursday, 7:30 Eastern, still the second most anticipated webinar of all time with real life trading. I'll be there as your humble host. Excited to give you guys some big news. Big news. Oh man, so many good things coming out Thursday. See you guys there. And until then, remember, love life, live life, and trade. See you.